Alright, so I am back to working on the 2011 Ford Fiesta. So in the, I think, last video I made for this car, I was working on the O2 sensor, the number 2 O2 sensor, which is underneath the car behind the catalytic converter. I had a P0054 code, which indicates that a problem with that sensor. So I did the replacement, I drove it for a while, and the check engine light went out. So I thought, great, everything's fine. After driving it for maybe around, I think it was like another 200 miles, the check engine light came back on. I probably should have checked to see if the stored codes were still in there after the check engine light went out, but I didn't. When the check engine light came back on, I checked the codes, and now it's a P0053, which is the number 1 O2 sensor, which is just behind the engine before it gets to the catalytic converter. It's also accompanied by a P0420, which is an issue with the catalytic converter, but that just could be because the O2 sensors aren't working together the way they should. I kept driving it, and the light would go off, and then the light would come back on, and now the light is off. But the stored codes are still there, and it's a P0053 and a P0420. So to remedy this, I bought the number 1 O2 sensor from Bosch. So we're going to install that today. Alright, so behind the engine, you can see right down there, well, you can see the orange wire from the one that I put on before, the bank 2, or not bank 2, sensor 2, and sensor 1 is right up here where this white wire is. And you can see it's recessed down inside the heat shield. So I can't use a wrench like I did for the lower one. This one I need a socket. Alright, so I happen to have two 7/8 inch sockets, so I did cut one so that I can use it as an O2 sensor. And you need to be able to get the wire out the side so that you can get the socket onto the O2 sensor. I just want to see if I can get this on there, alright. Yeah, that's on. Let's see if I can crack it loose. Not really a lot of room down here. Alright. This isn't going to budge, so I'm going to cut the wires off. There's that, so I can get a socket on there, a regular socket. Alright, so now this is a 6-point impact socket, but let's see. Ow, there it goes. Alright, so the new O2 sensor. So this is a Bosch sensor, so it's not color-coded like the Ford one was. So, but it comes with a little tube of anti-seize. So let's take this off. Alright, so one thing that I did notice on this Bosch filter is that the wire is not as long. I did just check it, and I'll still be able to use it, but I'm going to have to, what this plugs into, I'm going to have to unmount it from the bracket that it's on and move it. So, but it'll reach. What I want to do is, this is anti-seize. I'm going to put just a bead of this around the threads before I install it. So I'm going to tear this off. There we go. And put just a little bit on the threads. And And hopefully this will make it easier to get it off next time. Although it probably won't be me. So, alright, let's go put it in the car. Alright, so now I can get the new one in. There we go. Snug by hand. Alright, so now I gotta use the socket that I made because I can't cut the wires off. And this really needs just to be tightened down to about 26 to 33 foot-pounds. So this socket should be sufficient for doing that. Alright, that's it. As tight as I can get it anyway. Alright, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is the plug. You can see it's green. It matches the plug on the O2 sensor, the old one. And the new O2 sensor, the wire isn't going to reach. It's only a couple inches short, 2 or 3 inches. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this out of here. Yep. And then now I can plug them in. Okay. And so yeah, this plug is actually going to hold it up. It's not going to rub against anything. This hose has an extra padding on it. I don't think I really need to secure it anywhere. I was thinking about securing it with a zip tie, but I don't think it's necessary. Alright, so there you can see where I've plugged the black Bosch plug into the green Ford socket. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scan tool and I'm going to clear the codes, and then we're going to drive it for a while and see if anything comes back. Alright, so I've got the scan tool hooked up. Alright, you can see I've got 132,211 miles on here. Okay. And the check engine light status is off, but there were 2 codes. So it says I don't usually erase the data, so no. Anyway, I'm going to go into the engine codes. Okay, just read the codes, stored codes. And I got the 0053, which is the sensor 1, which is what we just replaced. Right, and a P0420, which is the catalytic converter, but probably related to the O2 sensor. Alright, so now we're going to back out. And are there any pending codes? No pending codes. Any permanent codes? Probably shouldn't be, I don't think. No permanent codes, good. Alright. So, now let's go back up. And we want to erase codes. Erase trouble codes, are you sure? Yes. Press any key. So now if I go into read codes, stored codes, should be empty. No codes are stored. Okay. Oops, so we're good. Alright, now we're just going to drive it for a while, see what happens. Alright, so now we're at 132,518 miles, so I've driven it just over 300 miles. The check engine light is back on, and the code is a P0420. So there is only one code. It says 1 of 1 up in the upper right-hand corner there. So it is not getting the O2 sensor errors anymore. It is only the catalytic converter. Okay, so we are making progress. So the P0053, P0054 codes are gone because I have replaced both O2 sensors. And now it is just a P0420 error, which is the catalytic converter. So I might just wait and see if things change, drive it some more. And, you know, I might try and look up, there are some things that I can watch in using ForeScan and see what's going on. That might give me some information, but we'll save that for another video. So if you got something out of this, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to help this channel out, please consider subscribing or becoming a member by clicking the join button below. Thanks for watching. Take care.